Hey, I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
You are listening to Liquid Carnage Radio.
Yes, you are. Actually, it's a podcast, but, same premise.
Same premise.
Dude, if we get big enough that we're on radio,
internet
then
radio.
we've made this.
That's what podcasts are. That's internet radio. But you can listen. It's a la carte.
We're on Podbean.
We have a very special guest today. Our intern, JP, has joined us again today. JP, say hi to the audience.
Say hello.
Hello to the audience.
And
Wow.
we have a topic today that is very near and dear to all of our hearts. And when I say near and dear to all of our hearts, because it's also close to our liver.
Ooh.
Bar,
So we're paying homage to our liver, too. Nice.
Our liver. Bar etiquette.
Bar etiquette. Interesting.
Drinks. Alcohol etiquette.
And here's the thing. This topic is going to be especially important because this can cover small town bars and big town bars.
Absolutely.
Downtown New York bars.
Social situations, period. It's probably a better way to put it because...
Well, and here's the thing is because the social etiquette, some people think it's like a restaurant. It's not like a restaurant. This is not like a restaurant where you're dealing with just food being slopped on a table. Your bartender, your wait staff might be the most important difference between a great night and not so bad.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to drop some knowledge that no other person has ever... Well, some people have heard about me today and my drinking habits here on Liquid Carnage.
Okay.
I'm going to divulge some information that most people would hear initially and say, you know what? Bullshit.
Wow.
But it's true.
Have I heard this yet?
I'm sure you have, but I probably told you when we were drunk in a bar.
True.
And you might not remember.
True.
So,
What's the, and maybe we should just start by saying with bar etiquette, the importance to me is that whether we like it or not, these bartenders, these wait staff, they're working hard.
Oh, absolutely.
They're running down the bar, they're making drinks, they're doing the things they need to do. We as a consumer have to be polite and at least cordial to the fact that they're working hard for us. And if we can take some of these bar etiquette tips to make them work even better for us over other people,
there you go.
our experience becomes
Let me ask you this.
improved.
Do you have a bar you go to? Are you a regular at a bar? Do you have a Cheers, Jason?
I don't have a Cheers, but I don't go out very often.
That's true. You
anymore.
Don't. Anymore. Back in the day. I don't want to bring up past ghosts of drinking past. You, my friend, can tie it on. And a fun history nugget right here. We actually met at a Halloween party over a bottle of Crown Royal that we killed together.
Oh boy!
And to this day, in your phone, I am still known as Maverick.
Yes,
because I was Maverick, aka Pete Mitchell from Top Gun that night.
And what was I?
You were Ron Burgundy.
That's right.
You were Ron.
Scotch is Scotch. Scotch makes me good in my belly. We drank a lot of whiskey that night, but it was fun.
It was a great night.
Gosh, that must have been about...
That was 10 years ago.
Whoa.
It was 10 years ago, if not longer.
It might have been longer.
It might have been 13 years ago. I think
it
it was it's a very long...
It was a long time.
My old roommate, Ben, still lived with me, and that was many moons ago.
It was a long time ago.
I was a wee lad back then. At any rate, though,
bar
etiquette. So you don't have a bar you frequent now?
No. I mean, and I guess the question might be, I do have bars that I go to. The question I would have for you is, I don't go to them regularly enough. Do you have a regular bar you go to?
I do. Actually, I have a few.
Okay. Well, wow. So you're a church. Wow, you're Cheers at a lot of places.
I rotate.
What's the important part about a bar for you? Because for me, I kind of like the bar that has an atmosphere. It doesn't have to be the nicest bar, but it has to have a bar that I can sit in and I feel like I'm just at home.
It depends what I'm doing. I'll be honest. I go to Chili's a lot because they have TV with sports on all the time. So I can go. I can have a beer. I'm a Coors Light man. You can make fun of me. I'm not into fancy beers. I'm not into your IPAs or whatever the fuck you want to call them this week. Dude, just give me some beer. Make sure it's cold and let me watch the game. I don't mind going there to sit and have a beer and watch the game or have dinner by myself or some friends, but I do not, unequivocally, I do not sit in the restaurant side of Chili's or any other restaurant / bar and grill.
Okay, I will say this. I don't consider Chili's a bar.
Okay.
I know that you do, and I know that they do serve alcohol there, but I do not serve... I don't
yet.
You stopped. You paused.
I paused for...
In fact, you know what? I'm so tired. Just hit your face against my hand.
Here.
Because I'm too tired.
You hear that? There, I got multiple slaps.
Thank you. I
right
wish
there.
I'd gotten a picture for Instagram of me slapping Scott.
You can find us on Liquid Carnage on that. Any rate, yeah, I frequent Sporties, the Sportsman's Club downtown,
Yes.
and the House of Hops downtown.
Yes. Okay.
A few of my favorites.
Okay.
But I'll be honest, for me, if I'm going to have a few beers, I also like proximity. So the local fireside bar and the Tack Shed is also a frequent flyer of mine. I like to rotate.
Okay, well, that's good. I kind of like the bars that have an atmosphere. Like, we go to a place called the House of Hops. Free publicity for the House of Hops. You guys know who
Terry,
you are.
we love you. The Rickety Cricket Brewing, opening soon.
We're opening soon. I love their atmosphere. Why? It's open. It's got some character because it's an old building in our town.
It's a beautiful bar.
It's a beautiful bar. It's a great place to go. Now, on the other side, I like going to the Black Ridge Brewery. It's got the same atmosphere to me. It's open. It's got plenty of spaces for me. That's what I like. I like that open space, kind of feel comfortable at home. I've never been big on one of these uppity bars.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'll give both those places credit for is you walk in, you don't feel like you're in Kingman. You feel like you're somewhere else. You feel like that you can, have a night out somewhere else, even though you're still in town. But for me, I'm a dive bar guy. I'm a Roadhouse bar guy. I'm a dive bar person. When I go to Williams, I spend a lot of time up there. It's one of my favorite places in the world. The Caning Club up there and the Sultana are two of my favorite bars in the world.
And do you know why?
Because they serve alcohol.
Well, that too. But is it cheap alcohol?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. We can go to the Caning Club, and this is so cool. And it's not like it's like a humble brag, but it's still just kind of a cool story.
Okay.
Our social circle has gone to Williams for years. My family has a house up there, so we go up there for weekends. To enjoy each other and just relax and hang out and have a good time. Every time we go up, we inevitably end up at the Caning Club, which is their local dive bar, their locals bar on karaoke night.
Okay.
And we walk into the bar, and Jackie the bartender, we love Jackie the bartender. If you're listening, you're our girl. We walk in, Jackie sees myself, she sees our buddy Bennett, she sees Dean, and she screams, "Kingman's in the house." And when Kingman shows up, we get to sing first on karaoke, we get drink specials, we get to go in the basement and go through the catacombs of Williams. It's badass. You cannot help but love going to the Caning Club.
I have to admit, now, some people are going to listen to this podcast, they're not drinkers.
Yeah.
And I get that. And some people don't go to a same bar every single night or go, have a comfortability to go to the same bar.
Yeah.
I get that too. There is something to be said about if you are a drinker and if you have the luxury of going to the same bar, there's something to be said about the bartenders know who you are, the owner knows who you are, the waitstaff know who you are.
Absolutely.
There's something so nice about that feeling.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to a bar by yourself?
I have a couple times. I have a few times, actually. I do a lot of things by myself, though.
Yeah, I'm actually the same way.
I've never had I need to be around a group of people. One night, I literally went to the bar and bought a round for no reason other than I wanted to say I bought a round. And there's about 45 people in the bar. I was sitting at the bar, and I said, I want to buy a bar. So I actually bought a round of drinks. And there was about 45 people. I think my bar tab was $200 maybe. But even the bartender, I'm sure he gave me a discount. I am sure that he gave me a discount because...
Was this before you knew us? Mm-hmm. Because that's the only way I would say. I wouldn't call bullshit because if I found out you're buying rounds from the bar,
dude. I buy rounds all the time. Don't even start with me.
Don't
even start with me.
I do not get invited out on those nights out. Apparently,
you know what? This might be the podcast people that breaks up Podbean or breaks up Liquid Carnage because I'm about ready to slap him. I buy all the friggin' time.
Okay.
Don't never put on my record that I don't buy.
Okay, Jason's a buyer.
God dang it.
He's a buyer.
I told him, didn't I?
He showed me.
Jason buy.
Jason is buy. Yeah, Jason will try anything. No, but so I've gone to a bar by myself a couple times. Have you ever bought a round of drinks before? I mean, for a bar.
A whole bar, no.
Yeah, you should try it. It's invigorating, dude.
It's like a bucket list item. We've talked about bucket lists here.
We have a podcast out there about bucket lists.
We do.
We never talked about
I don't think we talked about buying a round because I'll be honest. If I'm going to buy a round for everybody, chances are I'm hammered.
Oh, and I was sober. I walked in and just had, I don't know why, I just had that feeling of an epiphany of buying a
higher power said, Jason, you have to buy a round.
I did. And it was, and the great part about it was if you've ever bought a round or if you've ever bought a drink for a girl, sometimes it's more of just, I just want to have that. I just had that sense that it just feels good to have that recognition that you just bought a round and people come up to you and say, "Oh my gosh, you bought a round. Thank you so much." It's like, no problem, dude. No problem.
No, I've bought a round for a woman before trying to, get her entertainment, get her attention, see if that would do me any good. And sometimes it's worked and sometimes it's not. But I'll be honest, to buy an entire round for an entire bar, I have not done yet. I don't have Edgeworth money. So I have to be careful about what.
Okay, I'm not talking a bar of 400 people. I'm talking like you look at a bar, 20, 30 people. I'm sorry. If you went down to the
House of Hops.
No,
Sporties?
not the House of Sporties. If you went down to Sporties right now and looked at the bar and there was 20 people, you might be in for $100, maybe, because Sporties is one of those. Okay, prompt out Sporties. They have great drinks with very low cost.
And amazing popcorn.
They do have amazing popcorn.
Now, also walking into the studio right now is our friend, first timer on the show, and we're going to talk to him here in a little while on a separate show. But our friend, Papa Dave motherfucking Watson.
Dave motherfucking Watson, welcome to the show, man.
Dave has been out with us on numerous occasions, both here in town and in other locales such as Williams.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to talk to you about, alcohols do different things to us. Not just beer, wine, or whiskey and to get you drunk, but certain alcohols tend to have different effects. Would you agree or disagree with us on that?
I would definitely agree.
Is there an alcohol that you are not allowed to drink because of what it does to you?
Well,
Because I know I've got a list.
yeah, well, it used to be tequila.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably a pretty popular answer. But
Did it make your clothes fall off?
no, it made me punch people in the face.
That is a second alternative.
How important is that? Because I'm a happy drunk. Like very rare. When I get drunk, I very rarely get aggressive. I very rarely get.
I disagree.
Laughing.
I disagree right there.
What are you talking about?
You get very verbally aggressive when you drink.
No, but I don't want to punch someone in the face.
No, I didn't say violent aggressive.
No, we've all been at the bar where you've seen the guy who's got that drunk stumble, and you just know that the only thing his mind is processing, I'm gonna punch someone in the fucking
Let's be
face.
honest.
And cold
We've
cock,
all
not
been-
just like getting in a fight with someone, but just like I don't like the way you look and cold
We've
cock
all been
someone.
that guy at one point, whether we want to admit it or not.
I've never been that. I've never been that.
Bullshit.
No, fuck that. Fuck that. I've never been that person. We're gonna have to add this show to fucking ass.
Luckily though, I've been able to expand my horizons and start drinking tequila again. You know,
Which we're a fan of. We have some pineapple cinnamon tequila if you'd like to try some.
we would. Yeah, absolutely. I
If
think
our,
it would just be-
if our
it would just
intern
be
can
rude.
fetch a glass for Mr. motherfucking Watson to
It
pour
would
him
just be
some.
rude. Yeah,
Do you have a local favorite a bar that you like to go to and you just feel comfortable going there and being like the Cheers kind of bar for you?
I would have to say probably the Fireside.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the
Yeah,
Fireside.
the Fireside, or even House of Hops is pretty good.
What do you like about the Fireside? Like, what is the imagery of the Fireside? By the way, another plug for the Fireside. A free shot would be nice.
Yeah, for sure. Well, again, it's just a good. I think it's a good atmosphere, and like you said about Sporties, it's they make good drinks and
Cheap.
they're cheap.
So,
And
if I can tell you the story about St. Patrick's Day at the Fireside this year with Dave and a few other.
Yeah, I want to hear it because I don't.
You were with us that night.
I was.
That's how good of a night you had.
Oh, I was.
See?
Yeah.
Do you remember
Noreen
that?
went home early, so
Yeah, isn't that good?
Noreen went home a little bit early.
Just
so I
as
didn't
an
get to
editor's
hear it.
note, we are drinking pineapple cinnamon tequila. It's called.
This might be an archive show because I'm already
It's called
sensing that we're going to be
Dirty Cinnamon.
an hour and 15 into this friggin' show. I can
But anyway, so we're out on St. Patrick's Day
Uh-huh.
for JP's retirement party. He just got a job, and we were going at the party. And you party on St. Patrick's Day because that's just what you fucking do. And we walked into the Fireside. And normally on Friday nights at the Fireside, it's karaoke night. But they were having a DJ, you call it, he'll play at night.
Oh yeah, I was there for that.
Yeah.
yeah, and we switched it, didn't we?
Yeah, we walked. There's we were
Yeah.
9 or 10 people strong.
I remember.
We walked in and we heard no karaoke. And who's the bartender there? Is that
Angel.
Angel.
Yeah.
Angel saw us getting ready to leave, and she said, "No, you put karaoke on right now."
She did.
She did.
Yeah.
They
And we
want to
did.
sing.
So
You
these
let them
guys-
sing,
These guys are going to spend several $100s in here in a
Which-
matter of about 2 hours.
which we did.
We did.
We
Very
did.
cool.
Sure.
We put someone's kid through college that night. At least the
Right.
first semester of a class.
That's true.
But be that as it may, it was a great night, and I'm a huge fan of the Fireside.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of like your local, your favorite local shithole.
Yeah, it's a dive bar.
So you're like me. I kind of like that atmosphere
Yeah.
bar. It doesn't have to be the foo-foo fancy bar.
I don't like hanging out with a bunch of the pompous assholes that that drink with their pinky in the air. all
Well,
the
we want to
time.
thank Dave Watson for being on the show. I guess we won't hear from him anymore.
Scott. I've been meaning to talk to you about something.
I know. I guess Pinky's in from now on whenever I drink with Dave.
Yeah, pinky's in. If you're gonna go drinking, you want to feel comfortable with who you're drinking.
You mean
with.
drinking?
Drinking?
Drinking.
So the reason why we brought this topic, and I think all of us have certain bars that we like to go to, but what we were hoping to talk about is what kind of bar etiquette that is most important in terms of being in a bar to get the best service from the wait staff, to get the best service from the bartender. What things do you or do any of us do to make sure that we get the best service we possibly can?
Tip.
Yeah, to have a history of tipping well.
Yeah.
Well, what's a tipping well versus
not,
tipping?
And it's not just a tip.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than just that.
So I have to ask though, because is $1 a drink an appropriate tip?
If you're getting a beer, or they just pop the top open or pour it, I would say $1 for a beer. Beer for beer.
Yeah, something easy, something easy.
But if you're asking like a Manhattan or like a Sex on the Beach or whatever you're trying to get this girl drunk with, because if you're ordering a Sex on the Beach, Jason, I'm going to slap you like you just slapped me. So
I
you
did.
slapped me.
Hey, but let's think of it. So we do it a lot, and you all know this. We want a shot of Fireball, all of us, 9-10 shots of Fireball. Is that $1 per Fireball shot?
No, I don't think so. I think that's probably at 50 cents per. If it's like 10, like a $5 tip with that.
Yeah, I'd probably
Because you're still running a probably $50 bar tab with that. So,
but let's face it though. I mean, if you're buying a round of Fireball shots, it's going on your card, and you're going to end up tipping her at the end of the night probably $15 or $20 anyways, because you're going to have a fairly large bar tab. So
that's true.
If you're paying cash, I suppose $1 a drink is probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Have you ever bought a drink for a girl that you didn't know?
Yeah.
I have too.
Yeah, I've done that. I've tried that as an icebreaker. It broke the ice, and that's about all it did.
Here's a question.
Yay.
Have you ever had a girl you didn't know buy you a drink?
Actually, yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I have. She thought I was Blake Shelton.
Yeah, when she. My problem was when she came
So
over
was she
in her.
blind?
It was a big bar. It was a big bar.
It was a big
Lots
bar.
of-
No, she was
really
deaf.
hard.
She was deaf.
She was deaf and blind.
Oh, so you dated Helen Keller for a
Yeah.
while, huh?
Yeah, so you bought a drink, and because I bought a drink a couple times,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been, received, but they're nothing more. I didn't go home with someone.
Nobody's gonna turn down a free drink.
But I will say this: does it turn you on a little bit when a woman buys you a drink?
Yeah, Dave. When Tanya buys you a drink, does it turn you on?
That's totally different. Dave's totally different than the
Well,
rest
they're
of us.
rocking
Dave's
it
a
out.
more immortal. We're mortals. I mean, come on.
Whatever.
No. For those listening, not here in Kingman, Dave motherfucking Watson is.
You don't get that name if it's not for something
Yeah,
big time.
if you're not a legend of some level, Dave is a singer here in town that can bust out some of the best classic and modern rock songs and can hang with just about anybody. So you've sung in almost every bar here in town at one point or another.
Yeah.
So Dave knows his way around the bars, and I'm sure you've had women buy drinks for you,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you had a nice conversation with them, and some worked out and some didn't. But those were back in your younger days.
Some were better conversations than others.
I'm sure they were. That's generally how it goes. But one of the questions we asked originally was, is there an alcohol you cannot drink anymore because of just what it does to you?
Not really anymore. No, I mean, like I said earlier, it was pretty much just when I was younger. If I drank tequila,
Yeah, well, that does to everybody when you're younger.
Irish short temper, and tequila kind of
I
doesn't go well together.
Can't
but
imagine that ever happening to you, Dave.
Scott, what do you got? What's yours?
I can't drink gin.
Oh, I love gin.
Like I've got my uncle for Christmas this year gave me one of those backroom distilled gins from DC where he lives, like a micro. I don't know what you'd call it, a micro distillery from DC that I haven't touched because last time I touched gin, I was bad for 3 days.
You had a restraining order, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, gin. Not. Oh, I thought you said gin. Never
Yeah. Both. The answer is yes. Let's just go with that. Both answers were yes. So I don't touch gin.
Yeah.
And certain whiskeys do bad things to me too.
I love whiskey. I love tequila. But I disagree with you, Scott. I don't have an anger temper problem.
Oh, I didn't say you have an anger temper, but when you're drunk, we can tell when you're drunk because you get very loud and aggressive.
Yeah,
Is that when Noreen tells me, Alexa, volume 2?
Yeah.
Alexa, volume 2.
Yeah, you have to take it from a 10 to a 2.
So you definitely get a little more boisterous.
I do.
You
I
do.
do.
Not that you're really, as Alexa's going, what? So,
So,
but we love you anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother. Thanks. So, there's a couple ways that we could go with this. One would be, what things do you just flat out do not do at a bar to have good bar etiquette? Or we could go, what things do you need to do in order to have a great experience at a bar?
I think basic bar etiquette.
Okay.
And some nights when you go out and the bar's packed and you have to get a drink, you're trying to get a drink, you're at the bar, you're waiting. Know what you want. Don't get to the bar. If you're sitting there waiting for a few minutes, don't get to the bartender. They're busy trying to get whatever you need. Don't fumble. Don't ask, what kind of bourbon do you have? What kind of whiskey? If you want a beer and you want whiskey, know your order. Don't fuck around with them when they're trying to get it to you right there. You have a few minutes before they get there.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think they really appreciate it too much when you're giving them a list of 27 different things to get and then asking them what each ingredient is and what brand and all that. That'd be a real pain in the ass for sure.
Yeah.
The other thing for me too is also, if you don't know the waitress's name or the bartender's name, sweetie, hun, babe, do
God, yeah.
not.
I've heard people do that.
Do not, because that's so patronizing. That is such a
Right.
dickish thing.
So you know what you really need to do is you just need to walk up to the bar nicely and kindly and say, "Hey, whose dick do I need to suck to get some fucking service?"
That's a
around
really
here?"
good idea. See,
Yeah.
but see, you
That
know,
will get the best response. That will get immediate attention.
that is why Dave gets served first every time, even when the women are bartenders.
you know what
It's
I do?
amazing.
I just scream out, "I have leprosy!" And that works every time.
And the waitress or the bartender goes, "Duh."
Oh, thank God, this is your finger I found.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was wondering where that went.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I always hate the guys. I've seen them at the bar. They're sitting at the bar. It's crowded. Bartenders running back and forth, and they're like, "Hey, hey, hey! Oh, over here! Patience, motherfucker!"
With the dollar bill in their hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now-
Waving
now,
the dollar bill around.
is that the difference between an urban bar versus a small town dive bar, or?
I don't think I've ever been at a small town bar here, where I've ever had a problem with it being so busy that the bartender doesn't notice me and come over.
Yeah.
Have you? I mean, have you experienced that here in Kingman, where you've had like, oh, I have to wait an hour or 10 minutes to get a drink?
Only a few times, and it was just during like events and different, very very busy, like holidays or busy events or something like that. But usually if you're nice to your servers, they will definitely make sure that they take care of you.
Also, if you frequent the same spots, like we frequent the House of Hops, we frequent the Fireside or Sporties, even for me for Chili's. If you get the same bartenders or waitresses, they know what you want. I mean, a lot of times we don't deviate.
Right, for sure. I mean, like for instance, Angel at the Fireside.
Yeah.
We walk in there, she pretty much already knows what we're going to ask for. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny, my brother came home.
that could be good or bad because maybe we just go there too often.
That might be it. My brother came home for Thanksgiving. And you remember this is Thanksgiving night. And we were going out for a drink. And we started off at the Dan Bar. And this is so coincidental. It was hilarious. We walked into the Dan Bar, and Ursula, who we love, walked up with a pitcher of Coors Light for us and 3 glasses. We didn't even have to say a word.
Right.
And then we rolled down to the Fireside, and we walked up, and Angel was working and proceeded to pour me a rum and Diet Coke without even asking what I wanted. And my brother's mind was blown. He was like, how many bars are we going to walk into where you know the person? And I was like, it's just random, I promise, I swear. And then the next day, I met my brother for lunch at another bar, and the bartender again, it was the Green Hole. It's the Green Hole. They had dollar beers. I met him there for lunch.
Okay. All right.
I walked in. They popped a Keystone for me because it was $1 beer without even me saying a word. Yeah. So in a matter of 12 hours, I was in
camping beer,
yeah,
by the way.
I was in 3 bars with my brother, and they poured me a drink without even having to say a word. But my brother called me an alcoholic.
Before my internet went down, I looked up the 20 top etiquette rules that you should use when you're at a bar. The number 1 rule: be a regular at more than 1 bar. Be known at more than 1 bar.
I have just covered that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I covered
it
that.
sounds like it.
Yeah.
I mean, with that's like a no-brainer. Doesn't even sound like it even means anything. A lot of the other things we're talking about is be patient. Always tip more than you should. And this is the part that I always get confused about. So if someone does a bunch of shots for a group of 10, 12 people, my instant thought is maybe it's double what I would normally tip
On a normal
thing, because they have to sit there and
I think it's just really a matter though of just take care of them. They're taking care of you. You need to take care of them. That's just the way it
I
works.
think so.
And if you want to have them continue taking care of you, the way you want to be, then you definitely got to take care of them. I mean, it's anything, whether it's a bartender or a server or the entertainment even, because being from that aspect of it, it's like can't tell you how many times people would come up and request songs and this and that, and it would be stuff that we haven't played in a long time, or we kind of had to throw together at the last second, and we did it, but yet we still never even got tips. So
By the way, your version of Alice in Chains' Nutshell, amazing. It's been years since I've heard that.
Scott's putting out a promo. Here's one that I wanted
Dave can sing, man.
But here's
I tell you what, when he busts out Simple Man by Leonard Skinner and Shinedown, but I'll tell you, we went to Williams last month at the Canyon Club, which we talked about earlier. You busted out Chris Stapleton's Tennessee Whiskey for the first time.
Yeah.
And I shit you not, the bar stopped and turned their head and looked. And that's why I like going to bars with Dave with karaoke night, because they will stop in their tracks and they will watch him sing because he's that damn good.
Obviously, people who are not in Kingman won't be able to appreciate it, but if you are in Kingman and you do have an opportunity to go to the Fireside, you can listen to Dave.
On any random karaoke
On
night.
any karaoke bar, you can hear Dave.
Providing we're there.
Here's what I want to talk about, because this is one of the ones that bar etiquette. If you want to buy a woman a drink, ask her permission.
No.
Thoughts?
No.
Thoughts?
No.
Why not, Scotty?
Because she don't want it, you drink it yourself.
Hi-oh.
I think what they're saying is that don't just assume that you buy someone a drink just because you think you're going to have your way. Ask them first if they want to. Me personally, I do it differently, because
It goes both ways.
I do it where if I see a woman at a bar, I ask the bartender, buy her a drink, and if you want to tell her it's me, great. If you don't want to tell her it's me, that's fine.
You see, I like that approach.
Well, then why even waste your money?
Why?
Because 9 times out of 10, the girl's going to go, I didn't order a drink. Who bought me this drink? And the bartender's like, I don't know, that guy over there. And Jason's going to be there like, hey, what's up? And she's going to be like, you know what? Cool. Maybe.
Yeah,
So-
who's this fucking?
Yeah.
But here's the
Yeah.
thing though. I would never go to the girl and say, "Hi, I really like you. Can I buy you a drink?" Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can't.
and then leave. What the fuck?
You can't do that, because if you walked up to a random woman and did that, you know how creepy you would be, because
No,
you don't
I
know them.
disagree.
You cannot say I like you.
No, you don't say I like you.
Yeah, you could say you're a beautiful woman.
I like the way you put
wanna get to
together.
know you. No.
I'm a mature person and you're a mature person.
You
so why don't we
are
just skip
so
all the
far out
bullshit,
of Jason
get
is-
rid of our inhibitions and do what we want to do.
Jason
like
has,
that.
Jason has been in a relationship for 7 years, so he's out of the game.
That's true. I'm out of the game.
So he has no clue. It's like
Every
Bambi
time I buy
learning how to
Narita a
walk.
drink, it's
Like,
okay.
hey,
Babe.
hey,
Babe.
Hey, do you
miss, do you,
Do you like the Beatles? You remember when they played that song?
What you
That's
doing?
cool. Yeah.
so you want to go fuck?
I would never say that to a girl. That's
Well,
not
maybe you
right.
should.
Yeah,
maybe you
maybe,
should.
yeah.
No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's your problem.
I would, yeah, maybe that's the old problem. Now see, I would never say that to a woman, ever.
Have you ever
Again.
have you ever argued about a bar tab?
Yeah.
You have?
Oh yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
It says right here, number 15, don't ever argue about a bar. If you're arguing, it's probably because it's over a material amount of money. And that means you're probably not sober enough to argue.
Hey, listen. If I'm arguing over a bar tab, it's because I didn't drink that much, and the bar tab says otherwise. Because I know how drunk or how sober I am, and if I'm drunk, I'm not going to argue. But I have gotten into arguments.
You're a pro. You're a professional.
Yeah,
At getting drunk.
intoxicator. Yeah, a professional intoxicator. Yeah. A fun fact: I did talk about how I would reveal some information tonight that I have not really talked about publicly. I didn't actually start drinking until I graduated college. I went to Arizona State University, the #1 party school at the time.
You guys ready?
Oh,
Yeah.
You guys ready? I don't know about you guys. I'm really, really disappointed. in you.
I'm not leaving yet. I got pizza coming.
So
Yeah,
hear me out. Hear me out.
Just
though.
talking
Then I'm
about
not leaving yet
it.
either.
Just talking about it makes me want to go.
We're staying. Hear me out though. I did not drink in college because I had 2 jobs and 18 credit hours. I didn't have time to drink. But the minute I graduated, and I had to move back to town, and my buddy had a bachelor party, and they poured beer down my throat till I couldn't taste it anymore. It's been game on ever since. I have
So it was like the night I met all you guys
pretty much.
for the first time.
Pretty much. Do you remember the night you met us? Because those
Yeah.
details are hazy to me.
Yeah, you introduced me to MC Hammered.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
liquid.
Yes,
Who?
Halloween.
Who, by
No,
the way,
it was
will
summertime.
be making
No, it was
a
Halloween.
return.
Nope.
It was not a Halloween.
It was a
No,
softball
it
party
It's softball
was a,
party.
at Dean's house.
Yeah, it was at Dean's house, and
Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember Big Lebowski had the hammer there, and that's...
No. When we met Dave motherfucking
That was at
Watson.
Kelly's house.
No.
All right, sorry, Kelly.
We met Dave. Dave, tell the story how you met us.
Well, I went over to Dean's house because
Our buddy Dean.
Tanya, yeah. So because of my wife Tanya, she was an associate of all of you, basically.
We all worked together at the time.
Yeah, coworkers. And she's like, "Hey, let's go over to and do this, whatever, blah blah blah, for these people that I work with."
And Dave said, "Fuck this."
And I'm like,
those geeks.
Who is this again? And she's like, "Oh, they're people that I work with. You'll like them. They're cool." I'm like, okay, so we go over there and I met you, and I'm like, fuck, these people aren't cool. No, I'm just
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just joking.
You met Scott.
7 years later, here he is.
He's on a fucking podcast now.
So obviously, we all know like my level of expectations aren't very high. No, so to make a long story short, there was a
6 foot beer bong.
a 6 foot beer bong. It has 6 or 8 hoses on it.
6
and-
carries a 24 pack.
Yeah, and we ended up filling her up and emptying it and filling it up and emptying it and filling it up and emptying it. And there were a few shots in between and yeah.
I want to point out that we are not college age. We are mature adults, quote unquote mature. Yeah, we have a 6 foot beer bong. It holds a 24 pack.
We do.
And that's how we make friends.
MC Hammer.
Definitely 24 pack.
It does not come out often, but when we have skis, that we have shot glasses. We know how to party. We're professional partiers at this point.
I would imagine we could make a living at it.
We can have a party professionally and make a lot of money by getting.
I will say this, and you guys are kind of younger than me. I've noticed that as I've gotten older, my drinking, I black out more. Like if I go beyond the normal 3, 4, whatever, I'll fucking forget a night. I really will. I really will.
I can honestly say I've never actually blacked out.
Oh, I blacked out a few times.
No, I've never, and I've been
a few times.
fucking drunk. I've passed out.
No, I mean there have been nights where the next morning Noreen was like in the bed staring at me, and I'm like, "What? You didn't remember shitting in that tuba last night?" "No, I don't remember any of that shit."
I don't know. I want to find out who's shit in my mouth.
I
Let's
do
find that
remember the
motherfucker.
Justin Bieber poster.
That's right.
Yeah,
Your 40th
yeah.
birthday a few years back.
Oh, that was a
You
night.
were hammered with a
That
capital
was a night.
hammered.
Everyone decided for my 40th birthday to buy me whiskey, and I thought, well, one whiskey, all whiskeys are all the same. Yeah, no. And by about 10:30, I was, God, can we talk about this? So my lovely
it's your world.
woman,
We're just dancing
my
now.
lovely woman made me a book, and it's a scrapbook of 40 pages of 40 people in my life who wanted to commemorate my 40th birthday. One of them was a kid that I knew in grade school. One of them was my social studies teacher. All these people made up this book. For about 20 minutes, I'm reading every single page, bawling like a little baby.
It's crying like a bitch with a skin knee. It was terrible. Like
It was
a crying
bad.
bitch with a skin
And then
knee.
I passed out. But up until then, it was whiskey. I had great friends there. Here's one of the things that they say: never tip a bartender on a free round.
Why?
Well, thank him or her and tip him big on the next round when you close out.
So if you're gonna tip him regardless, why not tip him half here, half then?
I don't know.
Who's making these rules, Jason?
Unofficial Goldman Sachs rules. I have no idea who these people are. You know what? These are the big rich bankers and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just talking. Let's talk about it.
These assholes aren't going to party at fucking Sporties. I can tell you that right
Yeah.
now.
They'll buy
No.
Sporties, but
Yeah,
they
they're
won't
quote unquote
party it.
they're quote unquote dive bars, a hipster bar in lower Manhattan.
They're the douchebags I don't want to drink with.
Exactly. Listen, I'm not gonna mince words here.
Yeah, Buffy.
We are small town folk. It's true. We like the small town bars. We can get fancy. We're close to Vegas. We're close to Phoenix. We can do those metro bars, and we can hang with those. But at the end of the day, I'm a country bar. I'm a dive bar. I want sawdust on the floor. I want beer, man, or whiskey.
Okay. So do what you want to do, not what people expect you to do. If you want to put ice in your Pinot Grigio, go for it. Do you guys ever do that where you say, well, it's probably not cool to put a bunch of salt in my tequila? So
I don't know, Dave. Do you ever put ice cubes in your white spritzer
No,
wine?
fuck you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, do you do something that goes against you know what,
Goes
Scott?
against the social norms.
Wanna get me some ice cubes, Muffy?
Can I get some ice in my Chardonnay?
Thurston.
That's a nice oaky, buttery Chardonnay. No. You know what?
You know what?
pour
If I had
you-
fucking internet, I would look up something else. 'cause
You pour it how they drink it.
Well, I have to say, this has been a very interesting conversation.
It's been fun. It's been a more enlightening conversation than we've had in a while.
Well, and because we have Dave motherfucking Watson, that helps.
And we have been drinking tequila, full disclosure, during this whole
Not just any tequila.
pineapple cinnamon tequila.
Pineapples, and this might be a archive.
I don't think so.
You think it's good enough?
I think this is our Christmas special right here.
Let's summarize.
If you ask Jason, it'll go out on the CD, the Christmas CD. 'cause-
Okay.
Is that a Time Life kind of a thing?
Yeah, kind of.
So-
order right now on liquidcourage.com.
Let's summarize with each of us come up with a bar etiquette that we think is the most important to make your night an enjoyable and respectful of the staff that's going to be busting around.
I would like to add on top of that. Let's also add your favorite bar memory. We talked about that a little while ago.
All right.
Add in your favorite bar memory. Dave, you're our guest. You go first.
So as far as bar etiquette is concerned, I would say, it's a lot easier to treat the wait staff great when you're with great people. So I think it really needs to start with the people that you're with. I know, like myself, like if I'm drinking with people that are shitty and pissed off and all that kind of stuff that aren't very good drunks, I have a tendency to not be very happy either. So maybe
He doesn't mean us.
pick a good crowd. You know what I mean? People that you know you're gonna have fun with. I
That's
think that's
good.
probably the first thing.
That's good.
And what's your best bar story, Dave?
My best bar story or my best memory.
Best memory of a bar.
Like my favorite memory. Is that what you want? Is the
Yeah, what's your
memory?
favorite
definitely.
memory?
Well, I would have to say when I proposed to my wife, Tanya.
What?
In a bar, yeah.
Record
Aw.
that. Do that. man.
Tanya,
So-
if you're listening, man, that's beautiful. We love that.
The band I was playing with at the time, we were playing in Bullhead and at one of our favorite little dive bars, by the way.
Lazy
And,
Harry's?
It was Lazy Harry's, in fact, yeah. And I had it set up to where we played certain songs in a certain order, and I pulled her up on stage and proposed to her right there on stage.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why Dave's the
Wow,
man.
dude.
That's a great story. Jason, what about you?
Wow. Do you want to soak in the great story, or do you want to just? That's a great story. Now you, Jason. What do you got?
Next up,
Next up, Jason.
Wonderful. Okay, how do I follow up an engagement?
You better be good.
Let's see. I guess the beer etiquette that I would say has been most preferential to me is realize that these people work damn hard. These bartenders,
They do. They really do.
and they
look
put up with drunk assholes all the fucking
all
time.
the
good for
time,
them,
right?
yeah,
I mean, you're
absolutely,
dealing
yeah.
with drunk people all the time. So my big thing is make the bartenders and the wait staff seem like they're the most important thing by tipping them well. I've gotten stronger drinks. I've gotten freebies. I've gotten everything by just making sure that they're taken care of.
And don't be an asshole to them.
Yeah, exactly.
I think my best bar story was the night that I actually bought the round, and it was about a $250 bar tab. But for whatever reason, it made me feel good. Like I've never done that before, and I'm doing it for. There was probably about 40 people in the bar at the time.
Well, you know what the saying is. The only way to live is to give.
That's it. That's a great saying.
Wow.
It's like mind blown.
Whoa. I had to pick my mind up because that was so good.
Blown.
It's all over the. It's all over.
So
the
all over
mine
the
was
wall. All over the
actually
wall.
mine was actually giving and buying the round. That was because people came up to me and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't even know you, but thank you so much. That was so nice.
Yeah.
One person even said, hey, let me return the favor and let me buy you a drink. Didn't even buy the whole round drink, but he bought me a drink. I was like, so you give
Hey,
and
man,
you do get back.
Nice
You do get
pays.
back.
Nice pays.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I should do that. Maybe I get a couple of deals that way.
You might. You never
You
know.
might. You might.
That's how you
That's
find
true.
out.
Scotty.
For me,
Well, first of all, bar etiquette that you live by or that we talked about.
it's a job for them. And when I know when I go to work for me, I don't need people yelling at me and being rude to me. So be polite to your bar staff. Like, understand, man, they're busy. If it's a packed bar, if it's a quiet bar, be respectful. Know what you want when you're talking to them, and just be thoughtful with them. Understand they're people too. Yeah. They're trying to get their job done. They're trying to take care of everybody in the room. So, just be thoughtful of that.
I agree.
And now my bar story, it actually involves Dave.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa.
It does. It involves Dave and
yes, it does.
our buddy Troy.
Oh,
And
it was that night.
it was that night. Bow, chicka, wow, wow. No, it was 2 years ago. We were up in Williams, and we were walking to the Canyon Club, a bar we've talked about previously. And we were in the summertime in Williams. They have singers on every corner and every patio restaurant hacking up, classic songs.
Let's not disrespect them. They're doing their best.
They're trying, but I'll be honest.
I mean, let's be honest. They're doing their best.
Well, in this case, their best wasn't the best.
Got it.
So we were walking to the Canyon Club, and there was a singer on the corner at Pancho McGillicuddy's in Williams, which is no longer there, singing "House of the Rising Sun," which is a song Dave sings.
Very well, by the way.
And he was butchering it. So we walked into the Canyon Club, and Dave was like, hey, watch this.
Oh, no.
So the three of us are sitting at the bar. We're going for a drink.
Not to be a dick either. Hey, let's
Yeah, he wasn't trying to be a dick, but we were drunk, and we went for a drink, and that was like 5 beers and 5 shots later. Dave gets up, and he busts out "House of the Rising Sun." It was another head-turning moment where people out on the streets, and I shit you not, because the front door was open, tourists were stopping on the street to listen to Dave sing the song. And it was just this cool-ass moment to hear Dave just belt out this song, which is just cool in its own, and to have the whole, that initial world right there, just pay attention. I was a fan. I think it was cool.
Yeah,
That's a great story.
That was definitely a fun.
That's a fun story.
Yeah.
That's a fun story.
I've heard Dave sing a lot of Acapulco style.
A lot of.
Whoa. So let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, if you are living in Kingman and you have a chance to go hear Dave sing, whether it's karaoke or whether it's for a band that he's playing for, I recommend you go do it. He's got an amazing voice. He is a talent that Kingman has right here, right now, and you can enjoy it. Second thing I would say is, hopefully this episode of the podcast will give you just some pointers of bar etiquette. I have a feeling that most people listening to this already know those, so it's not like we're giving them something new or something different to think about.
At this point, if they're still listening, it's because they're bored and they're having a good time.
A third thing I would love to say is one thing that I think we all agree on: enjoy the time with your friends. If you're going to go out, go out with friends, have a great time, enjoy the moment of being with friends and enjoying the camaraderie, because this world can be very alienating. It can be very singular, and this gives you a great opportunity to enjoy your friends. I know we have all enjoyed our friends when we've gone out drinking, so I hope
safely though too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have Uber. There's taxi cabs. Be safe with it. Cherish your friends. Have a good time when you go out, and just be safe.
Thank you for letting us indulge this commentary. It's been kind of a free-flowing mind fuck, if you want to be
I wouldn't call
honest
it
about
mind
it.
fuck.
I would.
Would
It's
you?
been kind of free-flowing, but thank you for indulging us.
Thank you.
Dave, thank you very much for being a guest host.
Once again,
I hope we get you on another podcast, because I feel like you have a perspective on life and on things in this life that other people can relate to. And that's the biggest thing about our podcast, is we always want to relate to people's lives and bring in something, give ourselves and get something back. So
And
I'm hoping that we can get something else.
Absolutely.
Once again, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Liquid Carnage. That's LIQUIDKERNEDGE. Now, if you're listening, obviously you have Podbean. We appreciate all of our listeners. That's all I got for now. So, Jason, I'll let you close us out.
I'm Jason.
I'm Scott.
And as always, if you don't know really what to say, try a little Liquid Carnage.